Good evening. My name is Nick Sturgeon, President of Speedway Town Council. It is December 8th at 7:01. I call this meeting to order. All rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hopefully everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Good to be back here, and can't believe it's already December. We'll go ahead and do introductions. To my far right is Town Manager Grant Kleinheinz.
Good evening.
Next to him is Councilor Sarah Gardner.
Good evening.
Next to her is Councilor Sean Harold.
Good evening.
To my far left is Town Attorney Ted Nolting.
Good evening.
Next to him is Town Clerk Treasurer Philip Faust.
Good evening.
Next to him is Councilor Vince Nublet.
Good evening.
And to my immediate left is Council Vice President Jason Delisle.
Good evening.
All right. Item 2, minutes, approval of minutes of the November 24th, 2025 meeting.
I'll make a motion for the approval of minutes.
Second.
Any comments, questions, discussion? Hearing none, I will call for a vote. All those in favor of approving, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes 5-0. Item 3, memorandum, approval of memorandum of administrative session of the Speedway Town Council on November 24th, 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any comments, questions, discussion? Hearing none, I will call for a vote. All those in favor of approving, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes 5-0. Item 5, approval of the 2026 Town Council meeting schedule. Grant.
Number 4.
Sorry.
I can do 5. I'll just do 5.
Okay. Because it came up here. Item 4, approval of the 26 Town of Speedway designated holiday calendar. Grant.
Yes, so this includes our 13 paid holidays per our personnel policy manual. They are all listed with the day that they fall on and what that date is in 2026. We recommend approval.
I'll make a motion that we approve the calendar as presented.
I'll second it.
Any comments, questions, discussion? Hearing none, I will call for a vote. All those in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Passes 5-0. Now, number 5, approval of the 26th Town Council meeting schedule. Grant.
So before you this evening is our regular proposed Town Council meeting dates for 2026. Remember that our council meets on the 2nd and 4th Mondays of each month at 7 p.m. here in the Speedway Municipal Center at 5300 Crawfordsville Road. If you look at the individual dates that are listed for the 4 meetings, you will notice in March, we actually have moved the meeting up to account for spring break so that we checked the school calendar, and then we did the same thing in October with fall break. So we won't have that difficulty of whether we schedule, reschedule, or cancel. I recommend approval of the proposed meeting schedule. And once again, keep in mind, this schedule can be amended from time to time, either canceled, delayed, or moved. Just depends on what might happen. But in general, we post this schedule on the website just to give people a feel for when we meet.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any comments, questions, discussion? All right, hearing none, I will call for a vote. All those in favor of approving, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes 5-0. Item 6, ordinance number 1420, and ordinance establishing storm water user fees, first reading. Grant.
Yes, so thank you. We mentioned this in our budget presentation for 2026. Since that time, we have met with the council to have some discussions. The Stormwater Board has met over the past year to craft this proposed fee. Generally, every other central Indiana community and a lot of communities throughout the state of Indiana have a stormwater fee, which is specifically collected to address stormwater-related matters. We have a stormwater system that collects rainwater off of the streets so that we don't have flooding, and then it takes it away. All the maintenance, upkeep, cleaning of those takes time and effort, and currently we don't charge residents anything for that. So we are proposing, and tonight is first reading only. This will have a public hearing and a second and third reading. But tonight I've invited Matt Rummel with Christopher B. Burke Engineering, who is the engineering firm we retained about 1.5 years ago to do this study, work with staff to put the proposed ordinance and budgets together. So Matt, I know we have a PowerPoint. Brian, if you could pull that up. Yeah, I think he has it on his computer. Yeah. There we go.
That's it. All right, yeah, my name is Matt Rummel with Christopher Burke Engineering, the project manager, the GIS coordinator. And yes, we have been working with Speedway for the last 1.5 years or so to try and get a acceptable fee for stormwater use. So I'm just going to kind of go through very quickly on, you probably all heard this before, but maybe some of you haven't, on the benefits of doing this and the legal and everything else about it. So if you can go to the next slide. We all know what a stormwater fee is for, but to reiterate, we're going to use this money to replace, repair aging infrastructure. It also reduces the need from funding from the general fund, so you can use that for other services in the town. A lot of this is due, or not a lot, but the Senate Bill 1, where local governments are projected to lose a lot of money from the loss in the property taxes, so a lot of communities are looking for ways to supplement their revenue. A stormwater utility has been a popular choice. It's a non-ad valorem fee, so it's not based on the value of your property. It's based on the amount of stormwater you're theoretically generating and releasing. It's very common around the United States. So there's well over 2,000 utilities set up in the United States and 130 fees in Indiana. Next. Just a map. All the red dots show locations of stormwater utilities, a lot in the Midwest there. If you click again, it'll bring up a chart of utilities in Indiana by population. So I know, I think Speedway's right in that 10 to 50,000 range. There's 47 other utilities in Indiana with that population graphic or demographic. Next. So what do they fund? All the capital improvement projects, and we identified quite a few when we were putting together the scope. It's not going to cover everything, but it's going to get a good start on it. Master plans and engineering studies, your ordinances and technical standards, operation and maintenance of your stormwater system. It's going to help with vehicles and equipment, with your training and certifications, and also help pay for staff salaries and benefits. And that's certain percentages from the stormwater fund will be put over to other employees who are kind of do dual jobs. Next. Some of the benefits, again, the dedicated funding source. So everything that we generate or we bring in goes to stormwater related expenditures. Free up general funds. It's managed by the existing Public Works Department. It's sustainable revenue that's bondable. You can plan for long-term projects when you know you have that money there, and it's a very stable program. The public's going to see right away improvements to the drainage system on some of the projects to reduce the flooding, more appealing to incoming residents and businesses. Everyone wants improved water quality, and then it's going to, again, free up funds for other public services. Next. So some of the costs that when we were trying to come up with a total budget, we took into account some capital improvement, a lot of capital improvement costs, the administrative costs, and then operations, and that includes both salary, a little bit of salary, vehicles, maintenance, equipment, and then planning and putting together public education outreach, for example. Next. So here's a breakdown of the funding needs that we calculated for Speedway. This was our initial study. So we said, hey, Speedway, if you could have everything you wanted, what's it going to cost? Well, that came out to about $6 million over 5 years, and with an average annual cost of 1.18 million, and realized that wasn't going to be feasible for the size of this town without everybody paying a pretty exorbitant fee. So if you hit it again, we went through several scenarios with Grant and Rob and the stormwater team, and settled on a $500,000 expected revenue from the utility. So we're not going to meet everything at this time, but we're going to get a good start on getting some of these things accomplished. Next. So the proposed rate structure, every parcel in town is going to pay $1 a month. As a kind of a base fee, it covers some of your administrative costs. So regardless of the property class, whether it's a vacant, whether it's Allison, everyone's going to pay $1 a month for each parcel. Residential properties are going to pay a flat fee of that 1 ERU. The one ERU is going to be $2.77 a month per resident. And so in addition to that $1 base fee, it's going to be $3.77 a month for residents. Commercial, industrial, tax exempt apartments, common areas, and utilities are going to be based on that multiple of 1 ERU. And I think it was about 3, I should have looked that up before I came here. I've been doing a lot of these. I think it's 3,100 square feet, 3,200 square feet. So whatever that amount is, for every 3,200 square feet of impervious area that a non-residential property has, they're going to pay that $3.77 per ERU. And then all unimproved properties, regardless of size, if there's no improvement on it, are going to pay a third of an ERU. So there's going to be 90-some cents plus that dollar base fee, so $1.90-something. Next. This is how it breaks down over the state. We just updated the study this summer. I know it's very hard to read, but it lists a bunch of the communities, and these are communities that are with populations over 10,000, and their average fees, or their fees that they pay. The average fee around the state is about $6.50. I think Logansport is way up there at $20-some, and then you've got low ones down about $1. But Speedway we've got right at $3.77, so we're well below the average throughout the state. Next. So the typical implementation process, what we've done and where we are. We started with these town council and stormwater management board meetings. We developed a database that we plug in all the parcels and we can go through different scenarios, and that's how we got to that $500,000 number. It's interactive, and it really does some neat stuff that we can explore opportunities with. We didn't have any of the large ratepayer meetings that I was involved with, but like Speedway or the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and Allison were some of the larger ratepayers. So we did not meet with them on our time. And now we're in the adoption process. So if you hit the button one more time, this is the introduction. Here's where we are. Then we'll do the public hearing and the other readings and hopefully eventual adoption. And then we'll start establishing the billing procedure through the utility bills. Next. That's it. That's it. If there's any questions I can answer or anything to clarify, I'd be happy to.
So a lot of these funds, I know we just invested in that, the big shop vac, or the truck vac. The vac truck. They're fairly expensive.
Yes.
And we're using that to clear all of our inlets, especially this time of year when you have leaves and other debris going in it. We've got also retaining, like on 20th Street, which is in the field, and make sure that all those inlets are clear. And then Grant, we ran into, stormwater on Crawfordsville Road, in which the whole bottom was rusted out.
Yeah, the stormwater pipe on the north side of the road.
On the north side of the road. I mean, is that like a 48-inch? It's a large.
Yeah, I think it's 72.
72, yeah.
It drains all of Brixmore and basically properties on the north side over to High School Road.
So
a
that's
fairly
quite a bit of
large
water coming down, headed towards Eagle Creek, and from that standpoint. In addition to that, the street department employees basically have been taking their time to do all this maintenance that has to be done and that.
Yeah.
So they're consuming a lot of time handling stormwater, and, the town's got to work in all of the equipment needed to maintain that. And then in the wintertime now, I know Rob has a crew that goes out and basically makes sure that those, like Dry Run Creek and those in which were not maintained well, and Rob's did a great job of making sure that they're clear and free so that the water flows directly into Eagle Creek without picking up. But we've got a lot of parking lot around not only the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, you're talking about all the apartment complexes that are separated, and that water's got to go somewhere in a fairly quick manner, and making sure that it does. So it is a very important thing, and it keeps the town from flooding, from that standpoint. So that's all I got.
So since it's first reading, we're not doing a motion, I guess, for just doing the math, for the property owner, the residential property owner, we're looking at about $45 more per year.
Per year, yes.
For this. And I guess we've already identified, and Vince kind of touched on this, some projects that we can get started, basically right out of the gate. Is that correct?
Yes, so I'll give an example. Dry Run Ditch is within our stormwater realm of responsibility. And if you walk that area like I've done, Rob's done, and others, some of the bank is starting to erode, and those need to be shored up. Because you got to remember, there's homes on each side of that creek at various points. That's an example of a project. That could be anywhere from $500,000 to $1.5 million, depending on how much work is done. The maintenance and upkeep of that ditch is also costly, from the mowing, removal of trees and debris. That takes time and effort. We are going to look at this over a 5-year period. We're going to try to start collecting revenue, build that up a little bit, because we'll have engineering fees we'll have to pay for whatever chosen project that we have. We will have a list of those projects put on the website and available if people would like to look into that. But we are going to try to do as much pay as we go as possible. It is not out of the realm of possibility, though, that we might have to do a couple $1 million bond and then pay for that, like Matt said, from those captured revenues, and we'll have to budget for that. But I want to try to avoid that for the first couple years of the program until we get established. We do stormwater work now. We just do a more limited scope. The maintenance and cleaning of inlets and outlets into the creeks, Dry Run Creek, or ditch, it is a ditch, and then the payment of some staff and engineering fees that we have to do. We have an MS4 program. Brad is not here tonight, it's Rob. MS4 is simply our stormwater program. We are required by the state to have that program, which includes annual inspections, reporting, updating. When we have issues, we have to report those to IDEM and others. So there are expenses that currently we're not charging anybody for. It's coming out of that general fund. And we use our riverboat money from the state of Indiana to pay some of those costs as well. Has nothing to do with a riverboat or a gambling in our area. It's just revenues collected across the state, and we get a portion of that.
And I would say, for some general context, I mean, we've had some serious discussions about this, and, trying to find that fee amount. Like I said, the recommendation was, over $1 million, and we're, trying to do this conservatively, understand that any increase is going to hit our own pockets as well as the rest of the community. So been very mindful about what that fee should be. I know nobody up here likes to have to introduce a new fee, but I think given our current fiscal economy with SCA 1, I think these are options that we've been forced to consider that maybe had we not have to deal with SCA 1, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation.
And it is a fee where everybody pays. It's not a tax, so tax exempt people are paying as well. The city's paying, churches are paying, schools are paying.
So the only other thing I wanted to enumerate for the council, the proposed schedule for this ordinance, December the 22nd, we will hold a second reading of the ordinance. We will advertise a public hearing at the Stormwater Management Board. We have listed on January the 12th. I will have that date solidified by the second reading because we have to get a notice out in the next couple of weeks. Then we'll have a proposed third reading and adoption of the stormwater fees on your agenda on January 12th. And we need to decide when that will become effective. I have proposed either March or April, but we can have that discussion.
I guess the last comment I'll make is we do want to hear the public's input on this. I think getting their feedback. I know it's probably not going to be the most, in favor of it because it is an additional fee, but I think hearing input from the public is important as we're making these decisions. Any other comments before we move on? All right, thank you. On to item 7, ordinance number 1421, an ordinance amending the fees for the collection of trash, recycling, and yard waste in our first reading. Grant.
So as you know, we bid out our trash collection services last fall, a year and a half ago, not 2025, but 2024. Time goes so quickly anymore. That contract outlined an annual increase from the contractor for a 10-year period. The council, when they approved that agreement and proposal and approved basically the ordinance to charge that new fee, we only did a 1-year increase. Many reasons for that. We didn't want to take money from residents before that fee was needed. Therefore, we've proposed here in year 2, we are looking at 2026 and 2027. We are proposing a fee of, now the ordinance says $17.26, but we've had further discussion. We're going to be at $17.53, which is less than the year 3 charge from Midwest. I'm sorry. Waste Management, Midwest. I'm thinking of a different company. Waste Management, but we're collecting that a year early and then not charging as much in the second year, if that makes sense. So that proposed fee will be $17.53. We pay this on a monthly basis. We get a bill from Waste Management. Our extra cost will start in January. And we're probably proposing this to happen about the same time that we do the stormwater fee, so March or April. What I would say is the $17.53 might change. We are having further discussion between me and the clerk treasurer to verify that we are collecting the appropriate amount. This is only a first reading. I will make sure that is clear what that fee will be at second reading. We also will have a public hearing on this one. And that is proposed at the, where do we have it there? Public hearing on January the 12th. Second reading will be on the 22nd, and then the third reading and public hearing on the 12th of January. So I'll answer any questions that you might have. Sorry, I'm losing my voice.
Any questions, comments, discussion? All right, thank you, Grant. Moving on, Item 8, approval of statement of work with Sanitary Management and Engineering Company, Samco, for utility locate services grant.
So this is for Samco to do locates, typically when we have major projects or construction, and we have to call those in every 2 weeks because they, in essence, expire. So they are proposing an increase to their fee. The table is on page, I think it's page 6 of the ordinance. It's the second to last page. There are, if they're water, sanitary, storm sewer, and street lights, that charge will be $48 for all 4 of those. Then it kind of goes down to as low as $12.50 based on this table. That's a fee that we are charged. We're not passing this on to residents, but this is about a 20% increase over the fees that were charged last year. But it's something that we need to do. We have very few other options. I know I've had discussions with our staff. We might look at bidding this out because there are, I believe, 3 providers that we kind of talked about. We might be able to bid it out and get a better for the following year. But this came to our attention late this year. We have to have this done by January, and we will work on that in 2026 for your approval by the end of the year. So we recommend approval of this agreement as written. If you have any questions, I'll answer those.
I got one question for you.
Actually, we need a motion, call for a motion.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and recommend, or I'll move that we approve it as submitted.
Well, we need the
No,
motion
there's more.
first.
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay.
Grant, I got one question for you. Samco, how's been their performance, through this year?
They have, Rob, I don't know if you can give any.
They've done fine. Before the first of this year, there was an issue where they not marked a storm line that got hit, but that's the only major issue that we've had with them since they've actually been starting to do it for us, that I'm aware of.
Okay.
And I think they've been doing it for the town.
They've done it since I quit doing it, and the water department quit doing it, because the water department had a person dedicated to do locates for water. I did sewer, storm sewer. So it's been a while. Probably 10 years. More.
So just to be clear that they're the guys putting the flags out in the yards and
They're the
everything?
ones spray painting all our new sidewalks.
Okay, good. Give the guys the right credit.
As far as the budget goes, I mean, given that was
This is higher than we had included in the budget, but it's not so significant that it will hurt us. But this came late, budgets are already adopted. We will factor this into next year's budget.
Okay. All right, any other comments, questions, discussion? Hearing none, I will call for a vote. All those in favor of approving this statement of work, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 5-0. Item 9, approval of quote from Protein Wellness for Police Department Mental Wellness Training and Therapy Grant.
So this is a proposal for mental wellness trainings and evaluations for our police officers specifically. The amount here is $85.50 for the top portion, which is the hourly therapy visits. They are required to do this annually, correct?
That's what's proposed, yes.
Yes.
They would meet with each employee for a counseling session.
Yep. And then there is a Shield mental health app aspect to this as well in the amount of $28.50. That is to provide kind of that extra layer of access and accessibility for a total of about $11,300. I know HR and Chief worked on this. I think they both recommend approval of this. This is something that we see this as an investment in our public safety officers. They have a stressful job. They don't necessarily see some of the crime that maybe other communities do, but There's always the potential for that because they deal with difficult situations, from arrest to chases to just dealing with an upset person. All of that takes a mental toll, and we want to make sure our officers are healthy.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
From I guess incentivizing or getting the traction with the officers, I guess, flipping back to my days, these sessions going to be kept confidential, so there's not a stigma that, hey, if I say something, then, it's going to get back
I think
out.
we're requiring everybody to do it as well.
Including myself.
Yeah.
All of our officers, all of our dispatch personnel will go. They will have a 2-hour set. They can talk about anything they want. If they want to talk about how terrible the Colts are right now, they can do that. And it really takes the stigma out because everybody's going. And you're not identifying one person that may have an issue. It opens the door for those people to go and if they have an issue and they want to continue on and book other sessions. Pro Team is geared toward first responders. I believe the fire department currently uses Pro Team. They have also physical recovery for injuries, and they are also starting the physicals for our psychological and our physicals for the perf physicals also. So, but it just takes the stigma out, and we're going to require everybody to go, including myself, for a 2-hour session.
Yeah.
So
That's good. I mean, been there, understand the trauma that happens, and seeing some of the things, whether it's from a bad crash, it's an arrest, shooting, and I think, to me, just to make sure that there's that encouragement, hey, this is going to be used, and it's not going to be used against me if I,
they're confidential,
Yep.
so we won't know
Good.
what is spoken of. So.
And I think that's one of the
Yes.
important things about this. We're requiring everyone to attend. So there's no stigma. You are simply being asked to attend for your betterment. All of them will go,
Yes.
right?
and I think having that encouragement to actually utilize this as a service, don't just,
Right.
go talk about the Colts because you don't feel like that this is, some, tool for them to use to recover from those stressful events.
Yes.
I think it's all right to not be all right,
Yep.
right? Isn't that
Yeah.
kind of the saying?
Well, and there's been the stigma within law enforcement and public safety in general, like, if I express that I'm having these concerns or, troubles mentally, that's going to be used against me and holding me back in my career, or I'm not, that tough person. So I think having this as a resource, I'm all in favor of personally.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chief. Any other comments, questions, discussion? All right, hearing none, I will call for a vote. All those in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 5-0. Item 10, approval of grant application for the Georgetown Linear Park Project through the Indianapolis Metropolitan Planning Organization, IMPO. Grant?
So this project has been envisioned in the town for probably 15 years. It was incorporated into the Speed Zone Master Plan when that was adopted, I believe, in '07, as a part of the redevelopment commission being formed and Main Street taking place. We have looked for opportunities, including CERTA and a couple of other grants, Lilly Foundation. This is a great opportunity for us to apply for funding for this project. This project is roughly a $10.2 million estimated project, including design engineering, construction inspection, and contingency. We are applying for 20% of that cost, roughly $3 million, give or take. This is for a project that would not start construction until 2030. Typically, these are 5-year grant cycles. So if we hear that we're being funded in the spring, we would then follow their process, hire a consulting engineer to design that. The drawings that you see attached to this packet were completed by American Structure Point about 3 years ago. as an updating of the original plan that they put together. They have since agreed to update the cost estimate and file this application with the MPO at no cost to the town, which I think was a very gracious. They've worked with the town a long time on this. If we are funded, we would do an RFP for the engineering. My guess is they would score well because they have a good awareness of the project, but we will follow that RFP process. And we would have 5 years to come up with the dollars needed to fund this project. That could be any number of we could do it, look at general obligation bonding, general fund cash balances. We could have discussions with the redevelopment commission and the TIF district. There are several ways that we could potentially fund this project. And keep in mind, this is an estimate that I believe is very conservative, meaning it takes into account 5 years' worth of cost of living increases, cost of services and materials, so that the bid could come in significantly lower than this. In fact, that's what we experienced with Crawfordsville Road. We tried to extrapolate out 5 years ago when we applied, and we saved about $500,000, if not more, on that project, which was about a $3.4 million project. So I know this was identified specifically in our comprehensive plan that was put together a couple of years ago. The council and I had discussions this summer about it. We also looked at applying for intersection improvements to Lyndhurst and 20th Street. We didn't feel that that project would score well, so we decided to go with this one. We feel like this one will score better. So I'll answer any questions that you might have. Thank you.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Any comments, questions, discussion?
So what, Grant, what was the time frame in terms of starting this? Was about 5 years?
Well,
And then-
the funding is in 5 years, so that funding would come in 2030, I believe, after July 1. So it would be July 1 to June 30 of 2030 and 2031. So we would have about 4 years to go through the design, any right-of-way that might be required, legal work. And you need to understand that this proposes to close Georgetown Road to daily traffic. So there are some things that would have to happen prior to that. We've had a long conversation about a road on Cord Street going to the American Legion and servicing the trailer courts that are there. That would have to happen before this could happen. But I know we've had those discussions. It's a matter of figuring out who's going to pay what between us and IMS for that project, and then we could potentially close Georgetown to traffic, daily traffic. It would still have the ability to have traffic during the race season, but this would specifically improve a lot of the pedestrian issues that are experienced on that west side of the Motor Speedway. You know, we had that conversation with IMS earlier this fall. They have several bottlenecks. This would help address that. And because of that, I will be approaching IMS, if we are funded, to potentially assist in partially funding some of the improvements. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Any other comments?
Yeah,
questions?
that was just kind of my comment. I mean, this is a huge improvement for our town, but it's to the
Big for
track.
them as well, yeah.
Yeah, and we've talked about the expenses that we accrue as a town and lack of income that we receive from the track specifically. So I would like to see that partnership, and I would think they would be excited about this, as we would as a town, but $10 million is a lot. Not knowing impacts of SB1 like we've talked about, and I know this is 5 years out, but we'll be in that, at that point. So to bite off a big project, just making sure that all that is obviously.
And if the grant is awarded in the spring, and typically that's the schedule, the applications were due at the end of November. If they approve it in March, they'll send out a grant agreement where we have to agree to certain funding parameters and amounts. That would be approved by the council, just like we did Crawfordsville Road. but applying really cost nothing. And they didn't charge us for this. It was, to me, it was a way to get this project funded if it's ever going to be funded. Because coming up with 10 million on our own would be very challenging.
Yeah.
But coming up with only 3 million, with IMS maybe paying a portion of that, and we could even approach the city of Indianapolis. I think they should be a part of this as well.
Yeah.
They benefit directly from the motor speedway.
Food, beverage.
Food and beverage, hotel motel tax.
Rental car.
It would be nice if they could also participate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other comments, questions? All right, hearing none, I will call for a vote. All those in favor of approving this grant application, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that is a pass of 5-0. All right, item 11, and give me a second here, because I'm going to go through each of these and read the specifics to this. So this, in general, is approval of various proposal and task orders. There's 5 of them with Wessler Engineering, but those task orders are for professional services for risk resilience assessment and emergency response plans. Task order 1, drinking water on-call services. Task order 2, wastewater on-call services. Task order 3, environmental on-call services. And finally, task order number 4, municipal separate storm sewer systems, MS4. Done. Grant.
I will just share the amounts. So the risk resilience assessment, and if you remember, we did this earlier this year for the wastewater plant. This is for the water plant. That is a fee of $7,000. It is a lump sum in 2 phases. The drinking water on-call is a maximum of $40,000 over a 2-year period for 2026 and 2027, so $20,000 per year. Wastewater on-call is the same, $40,000, $20 per year for the next 2 years. The environmental on-call is listed at not to exceed $10,000. And the municipal separate storm sewer is $20,000. Wessler does a good job in these on-call arrangements. These are smaller projects that just need to be reviewed and put together, and they help us and assist us with quite a few of those things. So I'll answer any questions that you might have.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any comments, questions, discussion? All right, hearing none, I will call for a vote. All those in favor of approving these proposals and task orders, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Item 12, approval of an engagement letter with Kroger, Gardis, and Regas LLP for 2025 Speedway Parks District Bond. Philip.
Thank you. The proposal before you is to supplement the fee that you agreed to earlier this year. This is for the work on the Park District bonds. The main rationale, as explained by our attorney, Brian Bosma, is that when they quoted the $25,000, they were under the assumption that it would be a GO bond similar to what we did last year, which would be simpler than a Park District bond that requires extra steps with the park board and whatnot. They have requested an additional $10,000. The council should feel free to approve that or any lesser amount or zero.
Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve the engagement letter with KGR for, do I need to specify the actual dollar amount, I guess? For $5,000.
I'll second.
Any comments, questions, discussion? All right, hearing none, I will call for a vote. All those in favor of approving this engagement letter with KGR for $5,000, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes 5-0. All right. Ordinance number 1422 regarding additional appropriations, first reading and advertised public hearing. Philip.
Yes, it's that time of year where we go through and we chew up our budget and look at where we're starting to get tight. This is kind of step one. At the next meeting, I anticipate then coming to you with a resolution for transfers in between department budgets, which doesn't require a public hearing, so we can wait till closer to the end to see where we really need to fine-tune things. But this is for additional money to be appropriated, so this is increasing the budgets, which is why a public hearing is required. Quickly going through them, as we've talked about a few different times, the fire department budget is going to require additional monies in large part due to increases from the union agreement that were not budgeted for, as well as then overtime for different staffing issues we've had throughout the year, people being injured and whatnot. The street department has not been out here willy-nilly to spending large sums of money. This is so that we can spend the community crossings grant funds, so that money that we received now needs to be appropriated. The Parks Department was being proactive. Again, there's some monies that need to be, or have and need to be spent that eventually will be paid for out of the park bond, but just to have a tight record ahead of time, they've asked for that. And then there's two different ones that are a product of work with our state representative at the Department of Local Government Funding. And these are two different bonds, so it's not like we have to suddenly spend more money. That should be a set amortization schedule, so there shouldn't be surprises there. But in their look at how these were structured originally, they determined that we've been on the wrong schedule for years on some of these. And so as we get closer to paying those off, that would be an issue. And so their recommendation to true up is to pay an extra payment now, and that's really effectively an issue of us paying maybe 3 weeks earlier or something like that. So these are typically payments that I would have made in January. They're saying this year, if you pay it in December, that'll get us on the right schedule for when we finish out. So that's the rationale behind those. My hope is that you'll do a public hearing and then consider unanimous consent to go ahead and approve the ordinance in one reading, but happy to answer any questions at any point.
All right. Go ahead and open it up for a public hearing at 7:48, actually 7:49. Would anybody in the gallery like to comment or come up to the podium to discuss? All right, I will close the public hearing at 7:49. All right, first we'll address the unanimous consent. So I'll ask for a motion for us to approve this in one reading under unanimous consent.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 1422 on unanimous consent.
I'll second.
Any comments, questions, discussion? All right, hearing none, I will call for a vote. All those in favor of approving unanimous consent, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 5-0. All right, now I'll ask for a motion for approval of ordinance number 1422.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 1422.
I'll second it.
All right, any comments, questions, discussion? All right, hearing none, I will call for a vote. All those in favor of approving ordinance 1422, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes 5-0. All right, item 14, approval of claims and utility adjustments. Philip.
Thank you. I do have requests for both this evening. Our main claims are for the period of November 20th through December 3rd, and that spans 12 pages and totals $988,029.14. And we have one claim that we are, as we're working through our push to get more vendors to accept electronic payments. This will be for an ACH payment at the same time period, but it's one claim totaling $41,245. Then we have one claim for our self-insurance fund for the date of November 19th, and that's in the amount of $2,676.31. Utility adjustments are for the period of November 20th through December 3rd, 2025, and that's for 2 customers, and that's for removal of late fees that their payments were not posted through our payment processor until after late fees were applied, but they did pay beforehand.
I'll make a motion to approve claims and utility adjustments.
I'll second.
Any comments, questions, discussion? Hearing none, I will call for a vote. All those in favor of approving, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes 5-0. All right, on to reports from department supervisors. Communications, Cheryl.
Good evening, Council. Wanted to start with congratulating one of our Speedway High School seniors, Sam Goodman, on being selected to participate in the Bands of America that will perform January 1st in the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. Sam's the first student, from what I understand, first Speedway student to participate in the honor band at the Rose Bowl parade. He's the son of Ken and Angie Goodman, and he's a member of the Speedway 500 Regiment. I did send it out to, his mom reached out and provided the information, and we do have a couple of media folks interested in covering it, so Sam will be doing an online or a radio interview with WIBC, and then we'll be on Fox 59's morning show, so they're working that out, kind of cool. Just wanted to let folks know that the Town of Speedway department heads and leadership of first responders, fire and police, participated in a specialized crisis and media training last week. The intention was to help elevate our media relations and ensure that we are able to respond quickly and efficiently and cohesively among our departments should we ever have a crisis. So it was pretty helpful. Everyone participated. It was a good thing, I think. I'm currently working on the annual Boards and Commissions Appreciation Event that's scheduled for December 18th at the Country Club of Indianapolis. This is an event we have each year to thank the residents who volunteer to be a part of the Boards and Commissions to serve the town. Just a reminder that we have pushed out on Facebook and the website the town's winter treatment plan. Pay attention to that should we have any upcoming weather events. I'm sure we're finished with the snow and cold, but just in case.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, I know. A reminder that the town's fifth annual holiday food drive is taking place. We are taking donations still through December 12th. Those can be dropped off here at the Municipal Center. The food pantries that will benefit from this include St. Chris's food pantry, Storehouse food pantry, and this year we added Sparky's from this high school, or from the school. These are some reminders that regarding trash collections. The last week for yard waste collection is this week, I believe? Was it last week? Okay, thank you, Rob. Last week, so that will resume in the spring. With Christmas falling on Thursday this year, trash collection service scheduled for December 25th will be delayed one day. That includes trash recycling and heavy trash. As a reminder, check the website for Christmas tree pickup service. It occurs the first 2 weeks of January, but there are some things on there that you cannot include on your Christmas tree, so make sure you take a look at that. I'll be putting out a post for the office office hours is related to Christmas and New Year's. The Municipal Center will be closed December 24th and 25th for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and then again on January 1st for New Year's Day. Let's see. A couple weeks ago, I pushed out a notice that I created an event called Merry and Bright Speedway Lights Drive. So it's a Google map that folks can send me their address. We'll put them on there, and then you can go around and look at their Christmas lights at their homes. It's just been up for maybe a week or so. We've had 1,400 views already. So I will see people driving by my house. My house is not lit up, but my neighbors are. Drive by, and at first you kind of go, oh, what are they doing? And then you realize they're looking at the holiday lights, so that's kind of fun. Lastly, another event that I rolled out, and the intention is totally to bring, hopefully, residents and visitors into Speedway to visit our small businesses and I guess our primary businesses as well. So it's going to be on December 20th on a Saturday. It's kind of an all-day thing. It's not really a set time. There's different elements to it. One is we have about 14 businesses so far that will be having open houses or specials in their businesses. They each will advertise and promote their own, but it's taking place on that shared day. So far, we have 15 gift cards that's been donated, so throughout the day, we'll just do random drawings to give those away, and those will be taken from social media, from folks that actually share the post, so we'll just randomly pull names from that. We have 8 businesses participating that if you wear Christmas attire into their store, you'll get a 10% discount. This does exclude alcohol. At, 1 to 3 at Founders Grounds, Santa will be there for storytelling. From 3 to 4 that afternoon, probably me, but someone will be at the Plaza on Main taking pictures of anyone who wants to pose with the gingerbread house. From 6 to 7, we have vintage Dickens-style carolers that will be performing on Main Street. So they'll start at the Plaza, and then they'll just roam Main Street going into whatever businesses are open. And then, I'm still working out details on this, but finally at 8 o'clock, we'll have a mustache and beard competitions called Whiskers Wonderland. So, Nick, I think you are maybe in the running. So, more details to come, but that is all on Facebook, and I'll continue to start promoting it a little bit more, giving details as to what businesses are participating, who's providing gift cards, that kind of thing. So, that is it.
I think if I get drug in, Kyle's got to come with me.
And you too.
First 2 contestants.
You're in.
Grant, this is getting
beards,
bigger.
Ted. Hey, come on, boys, grow some facial.
We got 2 more over here.
Cheryl, thanks for all that you do. I love the fun ideas that you come up with, and I appreciate the extra work that entails.
And also just wanted to thank you for sharing the story about Sam Goodman. I've had the opportunity to coach Sam in football for the last few years. He's just a great young man, plays football, does band, great student. So I know he will make us proud and represent us well. So thank you for sharing.
Welcome.
Yep.
Welcome.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Up next, Kyle with Economic Development.
Evening. Thank you, councilors. Kind of business as usual. We do a couple big things, though. The RFP for the 16th and Mickley 16th Street corridor study from 16th and Main to 16th and Mickley. Those RFPs came in. Those responses came in, I should say. Those came in Friday. We just got a link and saw all of them for today. We got 7 responses, which I thought that was pretty good. All by pretty good companies, so we're pretty excited to start that review process and see who we're going to be able to go with. We'll be working with the IMPO and get somebody under contract, I believe, towards the end of January. The RFP for the 16th and Mickley site is out. I don't know how many people have picked up an RFP yet for that site. Can't really see that through our website, but we'll see if we get any responses back. Those are due January 16th, with questions due to the SRC by December 19th on the project. We're getting ready to send out a RFP in collaboration with Lindy for the right-of-way right in front of their building on Main Street. They would like to do kind of a upgraded landscape and something for the Centennial. So we're going to collab with them and work with them on what that's going to be. Don't have any dates or anything like that yet. We're still working that out, but that's been moving forward. And the roundabout is going very well. We've almost got the images completed and sorted out. Want to thank Susan Unser again for working with us, and her donations really couldn't have happened without that. So that's doing really well. Plantings got in. The masons are still working. There will be some curb raises to help protect that area as well in the future, and we're looking at potential lighting for around the crosswalks and things like that. So still a lot to do, but timeline is looking really well, and we should be on schedule.
Questions for Kyle? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next, Police Chief Upchurch.
Good evening, council. Next Wednesday, December the 17th, Officer Karam Campos will be graduating from the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy. He will have successfully completed 16 weeks of training there, and we look forward to having him back. Once he returns, he'll begin his field training, and which is about a 3 or 4 month process. But the big step is the academy's been completed. And along those same lines, this Wednesday, myself and the deputy chiefs will be conducting our first round of interviews to fill our vacant patrolman spot. Also, with the holiday season, just a few tips for, I know a lot of folks have packages delivered this time of year, and if you can network with your neighbors, and if there's someone around during the day that can keep an eye on homes, that if you're home and you see anything suspicious during the day with people out roaming around, please call us. If you see anybody that's that you know shouldn't be in an area and they are, we would prefer that you call us and we can go check, and if it turns out not to be anything, then we know. And if at all possible, if you can have your packages delivered to your place of employment, if you're there in the day, it just takes that element out. Please don't leave packages inside your vehicle where they're visible, and also don't leave purses. I still have to tell my wife that every day. Every time we go somewhere, it's like you can't leave the purse in the car. So, and also with the cold weather, please do not leave your car running unattended and unlocked. We have had a couple of those already this year where we've had some vehicle thefts where cars were left running and they come out and they're not there. So, and last but not least, through the end of November, our officers have responded to, so far this year, 23,809 calls for service, and we've issued 5,247 citations. And that's all I have.
All right. Any questions for the chief?
No, thank you
All
for the
right.
tips. Those are
Yeah.
helpful.
Thank you.
Good reminders.
Thank you. For fire, Chief Fishburne is not here tonight, so filling in is Chief Milhorn.
Good evening. First thing, go Hoosiers. Yeah, all right. Okay.
Exciting game.
Very good game. Just a couple things for us. We have 2 recruits still in recruit school. They are doing excellent. They're consistently in the top 2 or 3, maybe 5. I think there's 20 in the recruit school. They're doing very well. We do get one of them back in January. He doesn't have to go to the EMT portion. The other one we get in March, end of March. So we'll get those guys back. We are currently doing our member evaluations. Our officers do their guys, and then, of course, the battalions do the officers, and I evaluate the battalions. And no one evaluates Chief Fishburne. Just kidding. Our firefighter that was injured in the accident is doing well. He is, we're hoping he'll be back February to March-ish is kind of what we're hoping, so yeah. Last for us is the month of November, we did 305 runs. Year-to-date is 3,399, so That is all I have.
Any questions? All right.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Next up, Tammy Smith, Park and Recreation.
Good evening. We've been busy, keeping busy getting things together for the parks improvements for the upcoming year. So that's a lot of little things, moving parts to get ready for that. I have a new parks assistant that will be starting on January 5th. I'm looking forward to having her on board. And then I just wanted to recap Light the Night. Last week, I want to thank the community for coming out to celebrate the kickoff of the holiday season. Thank Speedway's police, street, parks, and many town employees for bringing everything together to make this annual event shine once again. We want to thank the many organizations and businesses that provide many activities for the kiddos to do and take home with them. And we want to thank Delara Experience Hub for the use of their facility, to Speedway Lions Club for the free refreshments, goodies, and so many volunteers. They were awesome. They had like 25 volunteers for me. And a special thanks to Santa and Buddy the Elf this year. And I will be off the week of and the week after Christmas, and I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
That's all I have.
All right. Any questions for Tammy?
No, just great job.
Yeah.
That event is always a good event for this town.
Yeah, and I will add, Delara did have somebody up with a clicker, and we were in the vicinity of about 800 people for Light the Night this year.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Got some good news coverage there.
Yes, yeah, Fox 59 did interview me, and it was on the news, and I thought it was a very nice coverage of the event. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tammy.
Tammy.
And last but not least, Public Works. Rob?
Good evening, council. We'll start off this evening with wastewater. They treated 97 million gallons of water. Pre-treatment inspections have started. They're working on finishing up employee evaluations, and they're working weather events as far as plowing snow on their lot, because they built the new methane gas generator, so our big trucks can't get back around, so at least they have a plow on their truck and they can take care of that little area on their own. So, and the water department treated 60 million gallons of water, working on evaluations as well, doing preventive maintenance, and they've had 5 or 6 water main breaks since the last meeting, and they'll have plenty more for their winter over with.
Is it just, and on those just because of the cold weather?
Yeah, I mean, it's every year. This is nothing new. This has been going on as long as I've worked here, which is a long time. So, I mean, it's just like concrete. It's going to crack. Mm-hmm. You got cast iron pipes 100 years old. Earth moves, it's going to crack. So, and the street department, we've been working, obviously, the weather events, and we have plenty more to come. We're already looking at Thursday through Friday, having staff in here. So, been doing maintenance on equipment, and the street projects are ongoing. We got Crawfordsville Road, 25th Street. We're hoping to have those opened up by Christmas, before Christmas. They laid out the lane markings Friday, so hopefully with the weather tomorrow, they'll be out doing a temporary for 25th Street. They're raising manholes and lowering manholes on that roadway, doing concrete crosswalks as well. And we'll be putting temp striping down on Crawfordsville. We'll do thermo in the spring when the weather allows us to do it properly. So that's all I have.
Any questions for Rob?
No.
I just want to thank your team. They did a great job on snow removal. I mean, they got up early.
Well, they're getting back in the swing of things. It takes 1 or 2 to get back to it. But
Yeah. Well,
it's all team effort, and they all do a good job.
It's appreciated. I think everybody on the west side enjoys our clean roads.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And comparatively to Indianapolis,
Even
you
there.
guys do an amazing job of getting the streets cleared.
We try to do the best we can, and our goal is to actually be better than them. So.
Oh, fortunately, it's a pretty low bar, but you guys set the bar pretty high.
We try to make them want to be us, I guess.
Yes.
How about that? So that's all I have.
All right, thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
All right, town manager report. Grant?
Just a couple of items very quickly. We just had our final casual conversations last Thursday evening. from 5:30 to 7 PM in this room. I think we had about 20 residents show up, and all of the department heads were here. They were very excited to be here till 7:15. I appreciate their efforts and willingness to do that. Good conversation, some spirited conversation. We always welcome respectful dialogue, so we will have 2 of those next year. I think we're going to pare that down from the normal 3 to 2, but I want to definitely continue doing those. 25th Street Phase 2, I know Rob gave us an update on the Phase 1. We are meeting with our engineering firm, Kieser Consulting, tomorrow. We were awarded $700 and some odd thousand from the Community Crossings Matching Grant Program for that next phase from Parkwood West to High School. I think the goal, we'll talk about the timeline tomorrow, but I think the goal is to get that bid in January or February, open those bids, have them approved, and have a contractor start probably after the race next June. Crawfordsville Road will be, and 25th will be finished up by that time, so we'll have that project to look forward to next year. We indulge and ask for everyone's patience. Road projects are never easy, but it definitely is one that needs to be done. So that's all I have this evening.
All right, any questions for Grant? All right, on to council reports. Sarah?
Nothing for me tonight.
Sean?
Nothing further for me.
Vince?
No, I just appreciate everybody coming out for Light the Night. I think that's a fantastic event as a community, especially for all the kids in grade school, and take advantage of those free things like that, from that standpoint. And Lions always likes helping out, so that's all I got.
Jason?
Nothing for me.
I know it's a day late, but yesterday was the remembrance of Pearl Harbor, the bombing of Pearl Harbor, so just always like to call those out. Those major world-changing, history-changing events, but other than that, hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Can't believe we only have one more council meeting this year. God, the time has flown by pretty fast.
We can schedule a couple more this month if you guys want.
I think we're good. I think we be respectful of everybody's time. But anyway, I will call this meeting to a close.